and welcome back to the Career Mode series. Today we're at Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. We cut on to the end of our first long lap as we're pushing very hard out of the final chicane, and we get across the line to go into P3. And puts us comfortably into Q2, and now we cut on to the first lap of Q2, and as you can see there are raindrops on the screen, so this lap's going to be crucial. We go P3, and that puts us into Q3, and now we cut on to Q3, and there's a car ahead of us, so we try and get the tow, but we're going to go across the line to go P3, and we're going to have to try and go quicker than that in our next lap. As we go out of the chicane, it's going to be our last lap, very smooth through the chicane there, and we're going to go across the line, and it's going to be P9 only for us.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, with Nico Rosberg alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Button, Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo, and Raikkonen, Sainz, Alonso, Toro Rosso, and Sebastian Vettel, Gutierrez, Massa, Jolyon Palmer, and Perez, Arianto, Hulkenberg, Kevin Magnussen, and Roman Grosjean, Wehrlein, and Bottas, Marcus Ericsson, and Felipe Nasser starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
As we have 5 red lights for the Canadian Grand Prix, and it's away we go. Alonso ahead of us gets a great start, and he's going to challenge to try and overtake Raikkonen, and then we're going to go up the inside of Alonso and possibly Sainz, but we think better of it back out of the move before we collide. And now we're behind Alonso, but we're going to go up the inside of Alonso for this next right-hander, and we take away P8, but you cut on to the end of lap 1, we're going to go up the inside of Sainz and Raikkonen as well, but he's going to hold it up the inside going to the second corner, and we're going to try and hold it around the outside, but we're unable to do that, and we hold back into P7 for the moment as we try and take a different line to see if we can overtake, but we can't overtake at that place. Now we cut on to the start of lap 4 here, and we're going to go up the inside of Kimi Räikkönen this time into turn 1, and now this has been P6 secured for us as we get a bit of oversteer going out of the second corner there. As now we cut on to the end of lap 4 and the start of lap 5 as we set the fastest lap of the race so far. So this is good signs of good pace for us in these ultra soft tyres, but it could be wearing off soon as these tyres can go off quickly, but there's been a battle between Ricciardo and Button, and that slowed down Ricciardo, and we had to brake in the latter part of the chicane to avoid hitting Ricciardo, but we're going to go up the inside of Jenson Button going into turn 1, and we're going to hold it as we go around turn 2, and we're now up into P4, and now we cut to lap 7 as we're going to be under pressure from Ricciardo going down the back straight, and Raikkonen as well, and we've lost 2 positions there, and now we're in P6, but we cut to lap 10 as Ricciardo is slowed because of the battle with Raikkonen, and we're going to go up the inside, and we just avoid contact there, but we are now back up into P5, and now Kimi Räikkönen is a wee bit up the road here. We cut on to lap 10 and we get a massive slap of oversteer coming out of the hairpin, and that is in turn put us under pressure from Ricciardo again, and he overtakes us once more into the back straight, and we're going to have to hold behind him for P6. And now we cut on to lap 11 as we're going to go into the pits for a set of soft tyres, the yellow wall tyres. We get held up by the McLaren driver, but we have jumped Ricciardo in the pit lane, and now we're going to come under pressure from Ricardo again in the back straight, and he is now re-overtaken us, but we now cut to lap 13 as Ricardo is overtaking Pascal Wehrlein in the manner, who hasn't stopped yet, and now we're going to possibly get a tow off him and some DRS. So can we overtake the Manor driver going into the chicane? I don't think we are close enough, but we do close towards him into the braking zone, and we might get a run on him with another bite of DRS going into turn 1, and we're going to go up the inside, and that is us overtaking him, and we're now into P10, but we're cutting on to lap 19, and as it started to rain, so we're going to come in for some intermediate tyres now, the Greenwald tyre, and again we have jumped a car. This time it's Bottas in the pit lane, but we cut to lap 24 as we've gone very late on the brakes, not intentionally, for that massive dive bomb, but we've ended up dive bombing Perez and overtaking him. But there's a yellow flag behind, and Jenson Button is out of the race. Has he collided with someone on this wet track, or has he suffered an engine blowout, I wonder? But the virtual safety car has been deployed, so it must have been quite severe. Let's look at the replay, and yes, it is an engine blowout, so that is not good for McLaren Honda, and Honda still not being that reliable as Button parks it to the right hand side of the track. And now we cut to lap 34 as Felipe Nasr's out the race, so I wonder what's happened to him. There's a yellow flag, and Ricardo is out of the race, so that's going to bump us up one position. I wonder what's happened. Let's take a look at the replay. As we can see there, Ricardo's ghost car just disappearing, and now let's take a look at what happened. So the Sauber's gone slow, and his teammate Nasr has hit the back of Ericsson, and then Ricardo comes up and he also hits Ericsson. I don't know how Ericsson has stayed in the race, but that is Nasr and Ricardo out of this race as the track starts to dry up, and Vettel is on the ultra soft tyres as well as Perez behind, but we've chosen to stick it out on the intermediate tyres for the last lap. But Perez is not close enough behind us to close up for 5th place, so that is 5th place for us in the Canadian Grand Prix. I do hope you enjoyed this episode of the Career Mode series. If you did, leave the video a like, share it around, and subscribe to this channel for more F1 videos, including this series and the Sergio Perez career, which I also do. So see you next time for that, and goodbye.